Today we're talking about how the safest path is actually killing you. And we're going to discuss it right here at the end of a long, beautiful dock into the water. Ugh. It's funny that a lot of times we talk about freedom, and it's a big core of all the stuff that I'm trying to aim for every day of my life pretty much, but we don't really review a whole lot of what it costs to get there. I'll give you an example. When I did a world tour last year, and I'm doing another one this year, a lot of times I hear this thing, man, you're lucky. And it's kind of disrespectful because anyone can do it. Even if you got like kids and a whole family, you could do it. You could do it. The point is, it might not be the most responsible thing to do, you know? But it's important to acknowledge that because you can't do it doesn't mean you truly can't do it. It means you select not to because you have responsibilities to these other things and you're choosing to have those in your life or have those responsibilities to those things rather than have the freedom to go travel and do a world tour or something like that. And that's not a bad thing. But there is a pretty big delineation between the two because one of them truly means that you have no arms and no legs and you couldn't walk out there. But even then, maybe someone could carry you. You get what I'm saying? And when we shift that mentality, it allows us to see a little bit more of, well, we're not actually prisoners of the lives that we chose. We're choosing the lives every day that we're doing them. So when someone comes to me and says, wow, you're really lucky, I mean, I'm usually kind of like playful and nonchalant about it. But if I kind of share my actual feelings on it, I think that we kind of forget this fundamental thing, which is generally in life, we get two options, like two directions that we're able to go on a daily basis. A little bit more free or a little bit more safe. And neither are right or wrong. But if you're more safe, you're going to be less free. And if you're more free, you're going to be less safe. And now these are feelings. These aren't fundamental, like objectively, I am freer or safer. I can feel free while being locked away in prison. I can feel safe while being in a war-torn country. These are feelings that we're able to deliver to ourselves, and we decide pretty much what defines how much we are or are not feeling that way, because someone in the same exact situation might feel less or more safe or less or more free. Hope that's making sense. The reason why I say all of this is because that feeling that we're trying to elicit within ourselves of being more safe or more free literally comes at the expense of the other. For example, of all of the times and all the people, friends of mine from my past that'll come up and be like, man, I would love to live the life you have, right? I just can't. Wish I did. Lucky you. That whole thing. That kind of just sounds like a big lie. Like you're just blowing hot air out your ass, because if you truly wanted to, you would be doing it, right? A lot of times, like when you zoom in, and this would happen a lot like after college or early on in my life, people would ask, so how do you do it? And I'd start breaking it down, which was my mistake because they didn't want to know how. They just kind of wanted to vent that they're not permitting themselves, or more specifically, there was no way in hell that they could do it. I was lucky, more or less. And if you drill down a little bit, you'd see that a lot of these people, it was a small town, smaller town, you would see that a lot of these people would be like, I am definitely gonna go out traveling, adventuring, sailing, floundering, building stuff from scratch in another country. However, first, I'm just gonna get a car, house, family, kids. I'm just gonna get those little things, and then I'll go do everything else. That was a decision. They decided this. Life usually presents you, and I sometimes struggle with this as much as the next person. Sometimes life presents to you, I almost said sometimes twice, that's cute. Sometimes life presents to you an array of options. In a lot of cases, we're given different base stats or base environments, but we can kind of go where we choose to. And if we elect to go for one direction, like I said earlier, we don't get the other, which is to say that you can have everything. Sorry, you can have anything, but you can't have everything. And that's why it really, really comes down to us reminding ourselves that we are choosing the life that we're living every day, even if it feels like it's being forced upon us. The reason why I think this is, truly, is because life feeds us a lot of responsibilities, a lot of shoulds, and it doesn't necessarily give a fuck how we feel about these things. It's just like, hey, like in a perfect world, most societies would be like, as soon as you're 20, get a house, get a car, have a family, have kids, right? don't know if that's necessarily a right or wrong thing, but it's like a blanket statement to just sort of assign to everybody. So it's a lot of pressure, and that pressure keeps showing up, especially as you age. Your family will usually try and pressure you to live the way that they lived, which isn't, again, necessarily right or wrong, but it's harder to permit someone who's your junior, younger than you, to find joy at their level or higher doing something that they didn't do. It forces you, as the older person that maybe could have done it differently, to re-examine your life, which is pretty hardcore. That's a pretty big examination to do. It'd be a lot easier to just like say, fuck these guys, they don't get it, right? I mean, I might feel that way. At the end of the day, if you're trying to decide, do I want to be more free or more safe, and you accept that you kind of have to choose one or the other, it's important probably to just make a list of what those things are, what's going to make you happy, because you're not going to be able to get both of them probably. If you're really, really safe, meaning you've got the house and I'm just giving that as an example, so don't get pissy about it. But you know, if you've got the house and the white picket fence and all of that, you will have fewer free days probably, on average. If you don't have those things, and you're super free and you're adventuring around and couch surfing everywhere, you'll probably feel slightly less safe. And it's up to you to decide if you change your environment or you change how you perceive the world. But objectively speaking, you are pretty much selecting those things on a day-to-day basis. In my case, well, I pretty much elect for the freedom part every time, which is what puts me on this course. I want this kind of life that like really tests the limits. I do it in small ways, like crazy colors on myself, on my car, on my nails. Look at my toes, they're adorable. And I try and do it in other ways, like food. I love combinations of food that, oddly enough, elicit all kinds of aggressive responses. Putting ketchup on all kinds of stuff, putting pineapple on all kinds of stuff. Jesus, people would be ready to crucify you for stuff like that. It's just food. I like to find that, whether it's good or bad, I love the range that I'm able to experience life in. Like the devs for this program gave us a flavor for a combination of beans and ketchup, or eggs and ketchup, or eggs and beans. Like, you get what I'm saying here. There are so many variations of life and so many different ways to cut it. For me personally, which isn't to say that you should do it, but I own it, that I will feel less safe. I will oftentimes be less safe, but I am feeling super free. And my overall emotions, like anyone else, will go up and down in the journey of that freedom, but that is what I would rather have more than anything. And so that's why this channel, the things that I do are all about that freedom stuff. There's no shortage of places around the world telling you, hey, don't forget safety, be more safe. Family, government, society, culture, name it. Being safe is a good thing. And if you leave our space, it's unsafe, generally. But I really like the notion that this is one big video game that we're often maybe coerced into taking really seriously or more seriously sometimes, and it's up to us and our ability to like suck ourselves out of the present moment, like the chaos of that, to be in the present moment and be like, oh, okay, I'm choosing the life that's going on here. Because we don't once in a while stop, look around and be like, huh, good or bad, I put myself here, right? Then, well, we're at risk of sort of being swept away by the tide of our environments rather than continuing to elect where we want to be. And it doesn't mean it's ever too late. You can turn it on at any point. But I'm also pretty confident that, fairly confident, that, and this is a little bit esoteric, but this is a final thought to leave with you, that if you have a goal or a purpose that's somewhere in your soul, that's waiting to be like unearthed somewhere in the journey of your life, probably it's not your position of safety that's going to deliver that to the world. It's probably going to be in your expression of yourself and that freedom. In any case, I don't have something to sell you, but if you agree with that and you like doing business stuff, well, I can probably help, especially if it's involved with community. So there's a link in the bio and the description if you want to go. It's called Goosify. My name's Goose. Have a good day. Have fun. Make friends. Later.